Hello, welcome back for episode 144 of my Dark Souls 3 blind Let's Play. I'm on Midir. As far as I know, this is the final boss I have to fucking beat to complete this whole entire damn game, DLC and all. So this, I mean, in theory, this could be the last episode. You know, I'm not gonna certainly promise it. I hope I can beat it today. I mean, I got really fucking close to beating Midir in the last episode. Just got to keep plugging away, get a good run, and get her done. I just the guy from Facebook Marketplace came by. He bought the game, easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was all good. I feel very you know, like for whoever was you know, watching the last episode, I was like all stressed because the guy like didn't have a phone, and he didn't drive, and he was using kind of bad grammar on Facebook, and he's like, I got an African last name, so I'm like, okay, there's like a million fucking immigrants in the city I live in. I'm like, god damn, this guy, like, he's gonna be one of these people that's like a bad communicator, like the fucking last person who bought some stuff off me on Facebook Marketplace. Anyway, I was all stressed out, and I was just like feeling all like cynical and just assuming bad things about this guy, that he wasn't gonna show up forever, or that it was gonna like just like waste a bunch of my fucking time, cause the last deal that I had on Facebook Marketplace, like I had to go like chase the guy around, and I finally found him at the bus stop like 2 hours fucking late, and he like didn't even try and knock on my door, and he fucking only like mainly spoke French and not English. Now I do live in a bilingual city, French and English, so that is what it is. That's like not the end of the world, but it was just all this stress. And then he like tried to like Jew me down on the fucking price, and once again I'm doubling down on saying Jew. Like I don't care. I do have a little bit of Jewish ancestry, and even if I didn't, like I don't think it's like honestly I don't think it's fucking racist to like say Jew as far as like someone who is let's say a good bartering person. Like Jews are good with money, and they are good at bartering. I don't think that's an insult. Anyway, everybody can think I'm racist if they want. I literally don't fucking care. Other than like I care if reasonable people care. I don't care if people want to just like try and virtue signal, or like quote unquote cancel me or something, because usually the people that are the most judgmental are the ones that are actually fucking racist and prejudiced behind closed doors. I don't give a fuck as long as people are nice people. I don't fucking care. Anyway, so it turns out this guy actually speaks fine English. He came by as I was sitting outside playing guitar waiting for him. He obviously just didn't care to use like perfect grammar on social media through texting, and fair enough, I don't all the time either, so it is what it is. I was getting stressed over nothing, came by, gave me the money, no muss, no fuss. Young black guy, fucking very friendly personality, very like sweet, almost like shy a little bit, just very nice guy. Gave me the money, didn't try to Jew me, no nothing, just beautiful. So it was like one of those things where I was getting all fucking stressed and cynical over nothing and assuming stuff about the guy, and then turned out fine. So more faith in humanity restored. Feels good, man. Feeling slightly less cynical than the day before, and more willing to, just a little bit more willing to place oh shit, I'm supposed to wait back a little bit. Just a little bit more willing to place a little bit more faith in people I don't know. Like I was saying, as I was like getting all stressed about this in the last episode, like, you know, I started off life as like an extremely kind and generous and empathetic person, and then you learn, and I'm sure a lot of people can relate with this, as I said in the last episode, if you have like done a lot of like kind and empathetic and generous things for people, at a certain point you learn like some people take advantage of that, and then you can get really cynical, and then it sucks because people that really do deserve like a little bit of extra care and, you know, whatever, Like this guy that, like, he doesn't have a phone, he doesn't have a car, he just wants to come by bus and buy a fucking used PS3 game, Call of Duty Black Ops. Like, I remember 10, 15 years ago, like, when I was like that. Like, you know, I don't know this guy's life, clearly. I fucking assumed things about him that weren't true. That he was gonna, like, make it hard on me, made the sale super easy. But, like, I remember being fucking broke and having no fucking money for the month, just having, like, barely enough food in my cupboards to get by, and, you know, scrounging up, like, finally, like, I have, like, 10 bucks left on my fucking credit card, and I just sit for, like, hours and hours browsing the Wii Virtual Console looking for some game that I think is going to entertain me for, like, you know, the next few weeks before I have any more money. And, like, maybe that's the position that this guy's in. Maybe it's not. Who knows? But, like, it's like... It's good to take the time for people when... Goddamn. It's good to take the time for people when you're not going to get screwed for it. So yeah, anyway, that's a long sort of... Not totally directionless rant, but a little bit of a ramble on me being a little bit cynical, just getting burned by people a little bit too much, and this was one of those interactions that restored my faith a little bit. I'm going on about it a little bit long, I guess, but it just feels good. It's nice. Feels good. Hope he's happy with his game. And I hope I beat Mindir now. Realistically, the reason why I'm, like, getting a kind of rambly here and over-explaining a little bit more than even usual, I mean, obviously, like, it's hard to play and talk at the same time, depending on what you're talking about, how stressful the event within the game is, but, like, you know, obviously, let's just get into it. We live in these fucking polarizing times where, like, everything's about race, everything's about sex, everything's about somebody is, like, doing somebody wrong. You can't even, like, be, like... Well, it depends, like, I'm white, so, like, I'm just assumed to be fucking evil. Like, at all times, I can't have the minorest fucking criticism of anybody who's not white. I'm a man, so I can't be critical of women. I can't have the minorest fucking criticism of a woman, otherwise I'm a sexist piece of shit. I'm straight, so I can't fucking have an opinion on someone who's gay, and if I do, it doesn't matter if they literally fucking, you know, like, punch me in the face. Like, I can't do anything back. I'm exaggerating maybe a little, but, like, everybody knows what these times are like. And, you know, so because he's black, because he's got the African last name, and, like, that is a source of stress. Like, it makes it harder to communicate and do a deal with somebody when they don't fucking speak the same language as you. And, like, you deal with a lot in the Western world now, especially fucking Canada. Like, we just have so many fucking people here. And, you know, a lot of them are very kind, very nice. And then, like, others, like, just want to fucking, they all get crazy fucking tax money from us. Or, like, all the ones that come as fucking migrants. Some people, like, a lot of the Indians come and, like, they pay shitloads of money to come here. Some people still think we let too many in, but at least they come and, like, they just, like, pretty much across the board fucking follow the rules, and they pay extra money to come to our schools and stuff, and they're just, like, generally very friendly and stuff. Some of the other groups, it's hit or miss. And it sucks, because that makes you cynical too. You don't want to be cynical or just assume that because somebody's not, you know, a native Canadian, native English speaker, that there's something wrong with them. You want to assume the best about everybody, but, you know, you can't just fucking do that. And it also can be a pain in the ass when, like, you know, anybody in the Western, well, I'm assuming in Europe too, but certainly in Canada and the States, I'm sure anybody fucking knows what it's like to, for example, like anytime you fucking call customer service, it's a crapshoot. Like customer service for anything, like particularly, like in Canada, we have some of the worst fucking telephone and internet like prices in the world. Us in like Australia are known for having like horrible internet prices, horrible internet service, horrible phone prices, horrible phone service. And then like you call customer service and it's always somebody from another country who hardly speaks the fucking language. It grates on you after a while. Just on a fucking practical level. So, you know, it all goes back to segregation of detail, like I was talking about during Dragon Slayer Armor. Goes back to like, okay, this is a white guy having questions and potential criticism of a black person. Is that inherently evil? The answer is obviously no. You have to take it on a case-by-case basis. And I put forth, in my case, that I am not specifically racist. Here, let's put it in a really simple way. I'm 100% certain that a person's skin color does not determine their moral character. There you fucking go. But it's flipped around these days where, like white people are judged by specifically the worst of us that have existed at certain times in somewhat recent history, and people claim exist in droves today, which they absolutely fucking do not. You find the occasional racist white person here or there. Even in Canada, growing up in Southern Ontario, yeah, they're around, but everybody, like, doesn't like them. They're hard to fucking be around. They make you fucking cringe. And half of them are blue collar, and the other half are like, you know, hoity-toity people that are like definitely fucking liberals. So it's like it's. But that's always how it is. That's always how it is. They, like, you know, like a long time ago in the United States, or say like, you know, 100 years ago in Canada, when it was like, say, a lot more socially acceptable to be racist against the natives here in Canada for white people. Those people weren't going around being like, yeah, we're evil, we're racist, fuck yeah. They were going around saying, no, we're justified. They're savages and we need to, like, tame them, or whatever the fuck their point of view was back then. It's the same as the fucking, like, the hardcore, quote-unquote, woke people now that think it's okay to judge white people by the color of their skin, that think it's okay to judge men by the fact that they were born men. It's not okay. No more than it's okay to judge a woman for being a woman or to judge a black person for being black. You judge people on their character. Goddamn. But anyway, this particular guy that bought my ship was good, and now I've really fucking beaten this subject to complete death. Thing is, I'll say this too. You know, it's really important to take everything on a case-by-case basis and make logical and, you know, use intuition as well. Make the best judgments you can and really try to make sure you're making the correct judgments, because okay, white guy potentially complaining about a black immigrant. Racist? Maybe. So you look into it farther. And then, like, I feel compelled to explain this all because it's such a sensitive subject these days, and because I'm one of the people who's not that scared of, like, broaching it, even though it is kind of awkward. Like, I'll just do it. But that puts me even more at risk. See, the more I explain, more at risk of being seen as just racist just on the face of it. Because the more I explain, the more to someone who is not segregating the detail, who's not taking things on a case-by-case basis, and is open to just being prejudiced and judgmental without looking all the way into it, the more I over-explain, the more it sounds like I'm just, like, nervously trying to, like, over-justify myself. And then it's like that quote from Hamlet, "Methink the lady doth protest too much." People that over-explain themselves sometimes are doing so because they have a guilty conscience and they're trying to assuage it. They're trying to massage it. They're trying to make themselves feel better. So, like some people who genuinely are racist, like, deep down or behind the scenes, like, will try to overdo how much they say, "I'm not racist, I'm not racist, I'm not racist, I'm not racist." You know what I mean? That's not what I'm doing, but it could be interpreted that way. And this is, you know, again, this is a good, you know, a practical example of that conversation I was talking about. Very, very relevant, very contextual and modern culture, relevant example of what I was talking about when I was fighting Dragon Slayer armor, about segregation of detail and making sure you, like, don't just buy into polarities. You don't just buy into, okay, well, you know, if this person is explaining themselves too much, then they're definitely guilty and, like, trying to assuage their guilt. That could be true, but it's not always true. You gotta make sure you know what you're talking about. It's just like with me. If this guy claims not to have a phone, is coming by bus, isn't using, like, the best, like, grammar on, you know, on Facebook Messenger, has an African last name, is this guy gonna be a pain in the ass to deal with? And I was stressed over it because it has been like that, you know, previously for me. And then I didn't, you know, fully make that judgment call. I took the chance, and it worked out. It turned out I was totally wrong in that guess about him. So there you go. We should all be hopefully willing, whenever it's not going to cost us too much, to, you know, not play it too safe and be willing to take a risk on, you know, not assuming the worst about somebody. And, you know, again, if it's not going to cost you too much, if it's not too big of a risk that you're opening yourself up to take a chance. Take a chance. So. Fuck, open up a can of goddamn worms. No pun intended, as I fight this worm, aka this dragon. Dark Eater Midir. I'm curious to see what happens when I beat this guy. I'm very curious to go back and talk to the prisoner girl. I mean, she could already have something new to say now that I've been to see the princess and broken the Dark Soul and beaten Midir. But definitely after or beaten Gale, I mean, but definitely after I beat Midir. Fuck, let's use another Ember. She should hopefully have something interesting to say. Yeah, what do you all think about what I just said? You know, really I only have three consistent people commenting on my stuff so far. And one, Sujat, is presumably, like, not white. So, what do you think? Do you think I'm just, like, racist as fuck, or what do you think? Interesting to get people's opinions of different personality types, different nationalities, different cultures, different backgrounds. Nefarious, what do you think about all this stuff? I mean, you all don't have to fucking comment if you don't want to on this. It's a slightly, not necessarily a cringy topic, but it is an awkward topic. My other friend, who goes by VG Fan Forever, is definitely watching as well. I need to get out. I need to get out. Oh, I lived. I did not live. Oh my god. That ring is thicker than I thought. I rolled forward and I was walking forward. I thought I made it out of there. Yeah. I don't know. You don't have to. You all don't have to comment on that. But I mean, for fuck's sakes, I feel like our society really needs to be talking about these difficult subjects, because we're just dividing more and more and more. Like, it's only it's only making us all more cynical and prejudicial about one another, and be more scared to try and get along, the more we just let the media keep polarizing us, and let the worst on both sides keep polarizing us, and the less we actually talk and have these discussions. I mean, I'm not the only person saying this. This has been a huge discussion in culture for the last, like, 8 years, ever since, like, Trump really came big onto the scene. But, like, we obviously need to keep having it, because the division, in some ways, is getting worse. I feel like in the center, it's getting better, and then on the far left and the far right, so to speak, it's getting even worse. Look at the Palestinian versus Jew thing right now. It's obviously fucking terrible. Look at the Ukraine versus Russia thing. Dude, like, we can divide ourselves from one another all day and fucking night. We should all be, you know, trying to get along as humanity. As the old quote goes, if we don't hang together, then surely we will hang separately. Meaning, if we don't stick together, then we will all surely fucking die. If we don't hang together, like stick together as a group, then surely we will all be hung on gallows separately. Oh, I'm super dead. That attack is like, I've managed to perfectly dodge that attack like quite a few times, but like it also, I clearly don't have it down pat. Yeah, I mean, it sounds too kind of like Barney and Friends, like, oh, let's all just get together. I mean, clearly that is what we need to do, is all get along, but obviously it's a little bit more complicated than that. I come from the point of view that generally everybody, like, has some legitimacy to their grievances. Like, you know, to use, I would say the biggest and most controversial, or just like the most charged and polarized of the divisions, it feels like the most charged and polarized to me, even above the men and women thing, is the black and white thing. Like, you know, black people have legitimate grievances with white people and the way they've been treated, and the way some white people still treat them. Even some well-meaning white people, like, are just like, they just get propagandized by the media, and they just, you know, they see the worst examples of black people being thugs, like playing the knockout game and stuff like that, hopping on board with the woke culture just for the purpose of, like, shitting on white people. And they're like, well, you know, we just don't want to fucking get hurt. Just like women who, you know, popularly right now in culture are choosing the bear over choosing to be with a man in the woods. They're judging all men based on the worst examples of men that they have experienced. So Is that wrong of them? Well, it's based on something, but it's not gonna help humanity for us all to judge each other based on the worst examples of other people in our category, you know? So, to put it simply, black people are justified in not wanting to get fucked over by white people, and white people are justified in not wanting to get fucked over by black people. Men are justified in not wanting to get fucked over by women, get all their money stolen in a fucking divorce court by a corrupt judge and lawyer, by some fucking bitch who, like, just gets pregnant just for the sake of getting 18 years of fucking, whatchamacallit, like, what are those child payments called? Why can't I think of that? Child support payments. And then women are justified in, like, not wanting to fucking go out at night and, like, not be sure, not be, you know, even if it doesn't happen most of the time, you know, it only takes one time of getting kidnapped and fucking raped and murdered in the woods, you know? So, I get it. I get everybody's grievances on all sides. I really, 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 really do. I really fucking do. And if those of us who are willing to bear the awkwardness and bear the risk of being seen as fucking racist or traitors to their own race or sexist or traitors to their own sex or groupist or traitors to their own group, if those of us who are willing to bear the brunt of that, bear the risk of that, and start the conversation, can do that, and then other people can join in, then we can probably fix things in the long run. And if we're not willing to do that, then we're all just gonna fucking go to war until I don't know, until nothing. It's just humanity's just gonna be perpetually at war with itself. And, you know, we don't really want that, because the dragons will come back and just annihilate us all, as we can clearly see here. Yeah, I've asked people in previous things. I'll ask again, just as a basic thing, like, and, you know, obviously nobody needs to feel obligated to get this information out if they don't want to, but I'm curious as to where everybody's from. I'm living, you know, I'm not going to give away too much information about myself, but I am living in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada right now, which is in the southern part of Ontario, which is the part that is heavily populated. I grew up in southern Ontario, down in the Niagara region. That's me. My background, like, nationality-wise, like where my ancestry goes back, is mainly English, Scottish, and German. With some, like, yeah, Ukrainian, Russian, Jewish, a little bit of Native in there somewhere. You know, you go back far enough, and a lot of us are mutts, so to speak, like, you know, you go back so many generations, and there's a lot of little extras snuck in here or there. Like, I'm sure if you go back far enough in the genetic pool, most of us probably share, you know, nationality somewhere way back in time. I'm curious. I'm always curious to know about people's, like, where someone's from. What is it like where you are from? Are these conversations being had where you're from? Anything I'm talking about, whether it's a controversial conversation or not. Have you thought about the stuff I've said before? Do people around you talk about it all the time? Are you sick of hearing about it? Whatever it is, whether it's this, whether it's about the political system. The one time I was in the untended graves area, heading towards Champion Gunder, and I was explaining the parliamentary system and how members of parliament are elected elected in Canada and other parliamentary systems like in Europe, and how government is formed, and how in Canada, unlike the States, you don't vote in the leader of your country. You vote in your member of parliament, and then the party that forms government, usually the one with the most members of parliament voted into power, they choose who is the leader of that party, and that person becomes, in Canada's case, the Prime Minister. You know? Maybe that was interesting to you. Maybe it was boring to you. Maybe you live in a country that has that kind of system, and you knew about it already. Maybe you live in a country with that kind of system, and you had no fucking clue how it worked, and now you know. Maybe you live in a country where that kind of system is what's used. It's a different kind of system, but it's interesting to you to learn about a new system. Maybe doesn't matter where you live, you hate hearing about politics, and the thought of learning about a parliamentary system is just boring as shit to you. Who knows? Who knows? I'm curious about it all. I'm curious about it all. I don't know where to go to get genuinely interesting conversation with people. My entire adult life, it seemed to me, and it's been a joke, that the rare occasions when I do get into an interesting conversation with people, the joke is that conversation is a long lost art, like fucking alchemy or something. It's just like, it's kind of dead. Uh-oh. Damn! I am doing fucking terrible against this boss. Because I'm talking too much. But I like talking. I like talking. I don't want the art of conversation to die. I want to find more people that want to just talk about things. You know, humanity discusses things, and it pushes the collective consciousness forward. We all learn something from sharing information. I used a metaphor one time when I was chilling with people in a bar, which, like, I don't like to do because I'm not a big fan of drinking, but, like, that's one of the only places where spontaneous conversation seems to occur, even in coffee shops, which I like to drink coffee still. Like, it's very rare, like, for people to actually want to engage with in conversation with people they don't know. That's what I find around where I am anyway. Maybe for you all it's different, but yeah, like years ago in Hamilton, Ontario, I was in a bar for like a video game developer meetup with people, and I just spontaneously came up with this metaphor about how, like, people are so territorial about I was speaking more specifically about being territorial with your knowledge or your skills and not wanting to share. And it's kind of like, I use the metaphor of, like, all of humanity, every one of us has, like, our unique gifts to offer the world is like a brick that is like a brick that would make the brick the size that would make a pyramid. And it's like, you know, we all just want to hold on to our brick and not share it and just territorialize it. And, you know, we're all scared that the next person's going to try and steal it from us. Again, back to the cynicism, because we've all been stolen before, so it's a legitimate fear. But if we were all to combine our bricks together, we could make this incredible pyramid together. And I feel like that's what happens when people are actually willing to share. You actually create something, to use a common and some consider to be trite phrase. We can create something that's more than the sum of its parts. Each brick individually doesn't do all that much. It's just a big, heavy-ass brick. But you put them all together and you make this giant-ass fucking pyramid. And holy shit, we've got something incredible on our hands. Maybe it can send messages to outer space. Who knows what the pyramids actually do? I keep dodging that too early. I keep recognizing that it's coming, and then I dodge it too early. Okay, he's rushing. Oh, I've only used 2 S's flasks so far. Okay, this could be worse. I'll do 1 attack. Okay, let's go. Tail attack. Wham. Damn. Wham, damn. Thank you, man. Oh, missed. Oh, I didn't realize that was coming. Oh. Barely outspaced it. Damn. Damn! Damn, damn, damn. Okay, let's go. Fucking right. Let's go again. If you use this over and over, I'd probably do quite well. Even though I do get hit by it sometimes, usually it goes well. It's one of the better opportunities for sure. Let's go. Okay, he's up against the wall. Let's get him right in the head. Let's go. Okay, I did not succeed. Oh, I hit him once in the head with my R1. Did a decent amount of damage. Oh, dude. I haven't used that many healing items yet, but then again, I haven't done that much damage yet either. Bam! I might die here. I hope I don't die here. Oh! I died. I died! Yeah, so, again, this is one of the big reasons why I'm doing this Let's Play series. I want to connect with people, I want to share my thoughts with people, and I want to have an effect. You know, I care. I genuinely care a lot about life. I want life to get better. I don't want to just be cynical and let things keep getting worse, because they're gonna just keep getting worse. If people don't give a shit enough to want to make things better, it's so easy to just be like, yeah, life sucks, then you die. Well, it doesn't just stay at an even consistent level of suck. Life either gets worse or better. It's like the quote from the epic 90s comedy movie with Chris Farley and Brian Dennehy and David Spade and Rob Lowe and Bo Derek, Tommy Boy. Brian Dennehy's character, Chris Farley's dad in the movie. In this business, you're either growing or you're dying. There ain't no third direction. That's true of life. We're either making things better or it's slowly getting worse through entropy. And I would prefer to fucking put in some effort, take the risk, and have things get better. Okay, I just need to sit back here. He's gonna charge at me, right? Well, let's just sit back here. Let's actually move back a little bit. Let him charge at me, and then I'll end. Like, I'll wind up where he's at. He's gonna turn around? Okay. Not bad. Oh, come on! Let me fucking hit the guy! Okay. Okay. Oh my god! I get so annoyed at not fucking being able to hit the damn bugger. Dude! Ah! And then I fucking go for a hit that is too big of a risk because he's already going to be doing the next attack and I put myself at a risk of getting hit. Well, that's not wise of me. You know, it's not good to throw good money after bad. If you miss your chance, don't fucking go for a big risky chance that is likely to get you fucking attacked. And yet, that's what I keep doing. So let's not do that. Wonder if I should ever try using the L2 attack with the spin, the super spin thing. Maybe I should try that at some point right next to his head. Give him some big whack-a-moles on his head. Okay, big lasers coming. Okay, run. Yeah, it's not time enough to do a spin there next to his head. Okay, this is the one where he runs, so let's chase him. Can I make it up to his head? Not really. Just let my stamina restore. But yeah, I'm curious to know where people are from who are watching my stuff. If you feel like saying it. If you think that even matters. I mean, I'm not a huge person into travel, but I do like travel. I love travel, but I'm not a huge person into like taking vacations because oh, fucking son of a bitch. Well, that's kind of a long conversation. Suffice to say, I do like visiting different places. But at the same time, I also think we shouldn't just live lives where we hate our jobs and we all just like look forward to those couple vacations a year. It's like working for the weekend. Everybody's working for the weekend. The great Loverboy song. Popularized for a lot of people by Grand Theft Auto Vice City. Everybody wants a new romance. Oh, son of a bitch. I was clicking X too. You know, we shouldn't all just like work jobs we hate and then just constantly be looking forward to vacation, which is a lot of the people I grew up around, which made me not want to be the kind of person who just worked for the weekend, who just worked for vacation growing up. I wanted to create a life for myself that I didn't need to vacation from, which I kind of have and also have not made for myself. I've made a life for myself that I don't need a vacation from, but it's nothing that amazing yet. But I've been working on it. I've been trying. I've been taking the risk. I haven't taken the safe path through life. I keep taking risks. Like putting these Let's Plays out, putting all this effort into this for 10 views video. But as I've quoted before, Y-Graph from Chapter 1, the end, I think towards the end of Chapter 1 of Final Fantasy Tactics for the PS1. Probably a paraphrase, I probably won't get the exact quote, but a small stone thrown into the water will only make a small ripple, but in time it will eventually become a wave. So I do like, you know, I like visiting different places, I like being different places, I like traveling around. I do find it interesting knowing what things are like in different places, what similarities there are between different places, and what differences there are. You know, it's a big world, and it's cool that there's all kinds of unique stuff in the world. Damn! Fucking haven't hit this fucking guy once. So, that is all to say. If you want to tell me where you're from, you happen to find my rambling interesting, and you want to connect on a, you know, not totally superficial, but not too risky level, you know, hit me up in the comment section. Let me know where you're from, what things are like where you're from. What are things like in Southern Ontario? That would be a good thing to start with if I'm trying to introduce that conversation. Well, there's a lot of nature here. Canadians are generally pretty nice people. Having said that, the downside of that is like a lot of people in Canada are nice, just nice seeming, or like we're nice to the point of like acting nice even when we don't feel nice, and it makes us kind of passive aggressive at times. Sometimes you would wish somebody would just be a little bit more blunt or direct about something, not beat around the bush quite so much. Like, you know, if you don't like my fucking apple pie, Susan, just fucking say so. But no, in Canada we're more likely to just be like, yes, we love it, and then there's actually a flaw with the apple pie, but we're not brave enough, or we just don't want to deal with the potential annoyance of whatever would happen if we said we don't really like the taste of the apple pie. Actually, there's too much cinnamon in it. So being nice can be good. You want to be nice, polite, and civil, oh god. But then the other side of that is, if you're fucking nice to the point of fucking telling little white lies all the time, well, what? You wind up storing all those lies inside of you, and you become kind of like a frustrated person who doesn't feel like they are living authentically. And then also I saw that coming, fucking right, I saw the pounce coming. Okay, I didn't get the timing right. Shit. But I didn't get hit anyway, so that's good. You deprive people of the benefits of hearing the truth that they may not want to hear, but may benefit them to hear. You know, maybe Susan needs to know that her fucking apple pie has too much damn cinnamon in it. Maybe she could have a world-class fucking apple pie if she would just quit using so much damn cinnamon. But if nobody tells her, then she doesn't get to know that. And that goes back to, like, us being too afraid to, like, share our point of view with one another. It's really not a good thing. But, again, segregation of detail. Sometimes people can overshare, too. You don't want people fucking trauma dumping on you with, you know, you don't even ask to know about their day, and every day they come home and they just fucking tell you all the worst parts of their day, just thinking that, like, you know, it's fine to just dump it on you because they don't want to deal with it on their own. You know, so sometimes oversharing is not good. Sometimes undersharing is not good. Sometimes sharing lots is good. Sometimes sharing very little is good. Anyway. Damn, son of a bitch. I'm doing fucking hogwash against this boss. I'm doing fucking dog shit against this boss. Let's go, buddy. Let's go. Wherever you're from, are people open? Are they closed? Are they tight-lipped? Do people share a lot? Are they polite? Are they civil? Or is everybody uncivil? Are people very masculine where you are? Are they overly masculine? Or are they... is everybody, you know, masculine in a positive way where you have lots of great role models and everybody's strong and everybody works hard? Are people feminine? Are people sensitive to the needs of others? Do they listen? Are they kind? Are they polite? Are people overly feminine? Are they absorbing? Do they always want to know what's the latest gossip and they just have to know everything and they just can't leave you alone and they always want you to do things for them in a toxically feminine way? Is everybody where you are nice and balanced? What's the nature like? What kind of local animals do you have? In Southern Ontario, we got squirrels, a lot of kind of darker, not too many black squirrels. We got a few, but more like gray squirrels. We got like gray, brown squirrels. We got like brown bunny rabbits. We got, rarely you'll see a deer here and there, depending on how close to the city you are. Got a lot of birds. Got robins. Got cardinals, very beautiful red cardinals. We got blue jays, very blue. Blue jays are a little bigger than your average bird. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a bully, but they're still pretty cool. Got a lot of fucking cold weather here. Got a lot of fucking months of winter. Oops. Summer's gorgeous here, but it flies by, and sometimes it can get insanely hot. And here, oh, here's something interesting. Southern Ontario is, you know, right in the midst of the Great Lakes, and particularly where I grew up. In the Niagara Peninsula. So the Niagara, for those who don't know what a peninsula is, oh shit, I missed the entrance. For those who don't know what a peninsula is, I'm sure a lot of people do, but I'll just name it off anyway. It's a piece of land that's bordered on three sides by water, or generally like a that's a waste of an ember. I feel like an idiot. It's an outcropping of land that is like, that only has a bridge back to the mainland on one side of it. Not a bridge, but like it only connects to the land on one side. So the Niagara Peninsula is bordered on the east by the Niagara River, which is the body of water that the Niagara Falls are in. On the other side of that river is upstate New York. You got Niagara Falls, New York. You got Buffalo, New York. You got Lewiston, New York. Let's use another fucking ember. Let's not waste all of our embers. I'm gonna get this boss soon. 49 minutes. I'll go up to the entrance of the boss room and then I'll start episode 145. But I'll just finish this. Yeah, the Niagara Peninsula. So on the east, it's bordered by the Niagara River, which the Niagara Falls is in. Which across from that is Niagara Falls, or rather just like New York State. On the south, it's bordered by Lake Erie, which is one of the 5 Great Lakes. It's the smallest of the Great Lakes. It's known to be a very dirty lake due to all the, probably toxic dumping, all the factories on it. All the Great Lakes have a shitload of fucking factories on them. Because it's efficient for factories to be on the water where they can ship whatever they make. As I'm sure most people know, shipping is cheaper and quicker and easier than transporting goods by land. Yeah, so the south is Lake Erie, and then on the north is Lake Ontario. Across from Lake Erie is more of New York, as well as like the Great Lakes are very large. So the Niagara Peninsula is on the far east end of Lake Erie. Even the smallest one is quite large. It's on like the northeastern tip of it, basically. Across from it is New York. Also below it is like the whole northern edge of Lake Erie is Ontario. At the western tip of Ontario, you have a city called Windsor, which is across the border from Detroit. And there you obviously have Michigan, and then the other states that border Lake Erie are Ohio, like Cleveland is on Lake Ontario, and then you have Pennsylvania. Erie, Pennsylvania, I believe, is also on Lake Ontario. And then to the north is Lake Ontario. Oh, I was saying Lake Ontario, but I meant Lake Erie, the south one, with Cleveland and Erie, Pennsylvania, and Detroit on it. Yeah, the northern lake that borders the Niagara Peninsula as well is Lake Ontario. So bordering Lake Ontario, you've got the Niagara region. On the western tip is a city called Hamilton, which is basically halfway between Niagara and Toronto. It forms the center part of what's called the Golden Horseshoe, which is Greater Toronto Area, Hamilton, and Niagara. And then, wrapping around, you've got Toronto, and then as you follow it, you got some smaller places. You've got Belleville, Ontario. You've got Kingston, Ontario. And then eventually you get to Cornwall. But here in Ottawa, I'm only about like an hour north of Lake Ontario. So Ottawa is near the northeast end of Lake Ontario, about an hour north of it. And it's... Well, Ottawa is just below the Ottawa River, which is the border between Ontario and Quebec over here, and then on the other side of it, you have Gatineau, Quebec, which is it's smaller than Ottawa, but it's basically like the other half of Ottawa. Together, they form what's called the capital city region or something like that. Not region. The capital zone of Canada, whatever the fuck it's called. I can't remember what it's called. But so the Niagara Peninsula, being that it's really stuck within the Great Lakes, it's kind of true of all of southern Ontario and a lot of places that are near a lot of water, but really especially a lot in the Niagara Peninsula in the summer. When it gets hot, it gets extremely humid, like oppressively humid. Maybe not so much as other even hotter, even more humid places in the world, but it gets very humid relative to what you would think for quite a northern place. And then in the winter, when it's cold, it's not just like a dry cold. Like I lived in Fort McMurray, Alberta, where I'd be walking to work at 7 in the morning, and it'd be like minus 40. And it would be cold, but it would be about the same cold as when it's like minus 15 in the Niagara region, or minus 20 in the Niagara region, Celsius that is, because there's so much moisture in the air. Like if oh my god, minus 20 in Niagara with wind, it gets to feel insanely cold very fast. And like even when you're really bundled up, the wind will, with all the moisture in the air, it will just cut right fucking through all your fucking clothing, all your bundling. You will be cold as fucking balls. You'll be shivering. It will suck. Anyway, there's a little bit of description of where I'm from. If you want, let me know where you're from. Again, I wish on YouTube we could revive the trend of people like 10, 15 years ago, way earlier in the days of YouTube, like having conversations through like video responses, basically people vlogging back and forth on a topic. Like, oh, this person talks about what they think about what, you know, something that happened at the Oscars, and then somebody replies to them with like the same video title, but it would be like reply to, say the video is called "What Happened at the Oscars," and then somebody else would watch that video, have an interesting thought, and make a response called "What I thought of, you know, what happened at the Oscars" by whoever made the original video. And then people would get in chains of video responses back and forth, and it would create this really interesting organic community. This is before all the algorithmic shit on YouTube. This is before all the censorship. This was back when YouTube was actually, you know, there was a reason for the U in YouTube, or more of a reason anyway. It felt like a very organic like creative thing for humanity. YouTube was incredible back back 10-15 years ago. It was fucking incredible, I thought. I mean, you know, it's still a great thing in its way, but it's very much diminished compared to what it used to be. Not in the amount of content on there. Then again, back then on YouTube, like, you would basically only ever have to watch like a 5-second ad before you could skip it. Now these days you get watching like 60-second ads sometimes. Anyway, this is the end of episode 144. I'll be back for episode 145, hopefully to defeat this dragon. Hope you're doing well. Leave a comment. Do a video response. Fuck, let's get it going. Let's actually fucking get it going, or whatever. Do your thing. But like, we should all have more conversations as humanity. We shouldn't be all so fucking totally afraid to speak openly and honestly. It's difficult, I know, but if everybody just takes a little more risk every day and is a little more open and connects with other people a little bit more, I think the world will get a lot better over time. Just like if you lift a weight that's a little bit heavier than the weight you lifted last week, then after a while, after a year, you're lifting a lot heavier and you're feeling a lot better. Okay, thanks. Have a good day. Leave a like. Do all the things, and peace out. See you in 145.